Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibis. Hope you guys have had a great Tuesday. It's almost over. Then we hit the middle of the week. I'm ready. So we're going to do Music Fact really quick, and then I'm going to jump right in. Got some announcements and then some updates, some very sad updates in two of the cases we're covering. Real quick, how did Hootie and the Blowfish get their name? They're kind of local for me. They're from Columbia, South Carolina, and went to the University of South Carolina. I'm a Clemson fan, but we'll let it slide. The publicist says the band's name goes back to their college days at USC. We call it USC here in South Carolina. Lead singer Darius Rucker was inspired by the nicknames of two college buddies. One wore huge round glasses that made him look like an owl, and the other had big puffy cheeks that make him look like a blowfish. So one night, these two guys go into a campus party where the band was playing, and Darius Rucker saw them and yelled, "Look, Hootie and the Blowfish." That's the cutest little story ever. All right, Alex Murdaugh had a meeting today with Law and Crime. I will be headed down to Colleton County on Sunday to cover the trial for Law and Crime Network. I'm going to be there day one of jury selection up through verdict. So follow them on all their social media. They'll be posting the little clips I do, and subscribe on YouTube. And then at night, same thing. I'll be doing our episodes where I go through the whole day's testimony in an hour in case you can't sit and watch for all 8. The judge has very strict 9 to 5 rules from what I've heard, and we're not sure how long jury selection will take. That will not be streamed, but the trial will. So I'll be there to bring you the latest on jury selection. Hopefully it goes smoothly and we hop in after they hear some motions, and we'll get started on that. So I'm not sure what time my episodes are going to drop. And the main reason for that is because I don't know how good this Wi-Fi is going to be in this hotel. I plug in here directly to Ethernet, and it still takes me 20 minutes to upload YouTube. If you guys know of a really good high-speed portable internet solution that I could take with me, please let me know. I need something. I don't want it to be to where everything's uploading for hours and hours, and you guys know how hotel Wi-Fi is. It's terrible. So I'm very excited to be there. Can't wait to meet some people that I haven't got to meet yet, that have reached out and said, "Hey, let's get together for dinner." So I'm super excited. Also have some listeners in the area, hopefully over the course of the trial. Meet some of you guys, have a cup of coffee. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. Grammy's doing way better. She's going to stay here at my house. My family's all around, and I feel okay leaving her, and she's super excited. So she just wants to know what channel Law and Crime is, and she's going to keep it there all day starting Monday. So she's precious, and thanks everybody for wishing her well. She loves it. All right, so first out of the gate, Brian Walsh, not surprised, but he was charged with the murder of his wife, Anna, just today. He will be arraigned tomorrow at the Quincy County Courthouse, and it's been said he's also expected to be charged with improper transport of a body. So we know he's already in jail for hindering the investigation into her disappearance, which was New Year's Day. And investigators, we know, found a bloody, broken knife in the basement and a hacksaw with bloodstains at a trash collection site. And not to mention, he Googled how to dismember a human body and how to dispose of a body. What a moron. He was also caught on surveillance buying over $450 worth of cleaning supplies at Home Depot. One thing that we learned is that her employer was actually the first person to call in the missing person report, according to police logs. That was on January the 4th, so 3 days after she went missing. The prosecutor said the continued investigation has now allowed police to obtain an arrest warrant charging Brian Walsh with murder of his wife. Mr. Walsh will be transported to the court for the charge of murder. Additional details in the investigation and the evidence in support of those charges are likely to be presented at arraignment, but will not be disclosed at this time. And Brian's attorney didn't make a comment. And so tomorrow I will bring you what happens in that arraignment, and hopefully we get some details of what allowed them to finally get that murder warrant for him. And just a really, really sad update in the Athena Brownfield case. They have located a child's body near the former home of Ivan Adams, one of the caretakers of Athena, who has been arrested for her murder. The body was found in Rush Springs, Oklahoma, after he led them to where she was buried. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation said on Facebook that they have recovered the remains of a child in Grady County outside of Rush Springs. At this time, the OSBI cannot confirm the remains are those of Athena. The remains will be transported to the medical examiner's office in Oklahoma City for positive identification. And the probable cause affidavit was released today for those murder charges. I'm going to go through them, but I'm giving you a trigger warning to fast forward because it's not pleasant. It's true crime. And it is always unpleasant to put out there the details of how somebody met their untimely end at the hands of evil. There's just a different layer when it's a child, but it's important to put out there what this child went through and why we have murder charges. So here we go. It says on January 10th, a 5-year-old was located wandering near her residence by the mail person. She was forensically interviewed and said she had been home alone and is tired of being alone. A call was received from Alicia Adams, the wife of Ivan, and asked where Athena was located. That's when police learned Athena was missing. So the 5-year-old said that she called Alicia mom and Allie, and Ivan dad or Uncle Ivan. The kids were actually left in their care about 1.5 to 2 years ago by the biological parents. So, and by the way, police have said that they have been cooperative so far. And here's the thing, Alicia and Ivan never took these kids for any kind of a well check at the doctor, never enrolled them in school, nothing like that. So a review of phone records for Alicia and Ivan did not match what they initially told investigators. It says on December 26, 2022, between 4:15 and 5:30 a.m., Ivan's phone records show his phone leaving the home and traveling to the Rush Springs, Oklahoma area. On January 12th, Flores interviewed Alicia and read her Miranda warning, which she waived. She confessed that on December 25th around midnight, Ivan beat Athena, held her up by her arms. She was not moving and her eyes were barely open. He laid her on the ground and punched her at least 3 more times in the chest, and she did not move again after that. Just evil, 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 evil. I can't even. Christmas, killing a child, period, but Christmas at midnight. It just, what, that's what happened at their home. He left around 1 a.m. on December 26th with Athena. And when he returned home, he told Alicia that he buried her near a fence line that was next to their old home in Rush Springs. He told her he placed a large broken branch over the burial site. Now, today we saw the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigations, the medical examiner, a lot of people in a field area kind of near a fence line. So it seems like they've located her, but they're not going to put that out there until she's positively identified. I just don't get it at all. Just who are you leaving your kids with? I mean, you have to know. There's so many things, y'all. So many kids are being failed by adults in their life, by the system, and it seems like 2-3 times a week now. We got kids missing that people didn't know for a week or two or weeks or months that were missing. I mean, we have Harmony Montgomery still not found. We have Madalena Kojakari, still not found. We have Athena Brownfield, who likely has been found. But these are all kids that were not reported missing for weeks. Nobody missed them. Nobody. Well, with Madalena, finally the school counselor and the SRO came for truancy. It just blows my mind, y'all. How can a kid just disappear and nobody missed that kid? I'll never understand it. So we'll keep an eye on everything there. Now, the Chrisleys, Todd and Julie Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best. It's a reality show that started back in 2014. They've been in some trouble with some tax stuff. Well, they reported to prison today. They were supposed to surrender by noon. And Todd, who's 54, He has a 12-year sentence at a federal prison camp in Pensacola, Florida. And Julie, who is 49, I've seen 49 and 50, her prison term will be served 145 miles away in Marianna, Florida. And I believe she got 7 years. For some reason, I did not put that here. It's a lot less than his. One interesting thing I learned today, they are from Westminster, South Carolina, which is a little less than an hour away from me. It's just an old textile town. The upstate of South Carolina used to be the textile capital of the world. All the older generation worked in mills for the most part. My grandmother worked in a mill. Her mother and father worked in a mill. It was just textiles were rolling out of here back in the 50s and 60s and even the 70s. It wasn't really until the 80s that it kind of started dying out a bit. Now they've taken the old mills and turned them into really amazing lofts that you rent, and they're gorgeous. Those hardwood floors are 100 years old, and the one thing my Grammy was telling me was like the way they clean those floors, it was just they shined. And I've been in one; they're gorgeous. Anyways, I just got off on a thing, but they've been married since 1996, and the textile town, the population is less than 3,000, just a very small town. Todd has 2 adult children from a previous marriage. He has Lindsay and Kyle. So let's look at all their children. So he has, I'm sorry, I've put Chase on there twice. He has Lindsay, who's 33, and Kyle, who's 31. Now, he and Julie have 3 children of their own, 2 adult sons, Chase, who's 26, Savannah is 25, and Grayson, the youngest, at 16. And so the show has been sort of called like the Southern version of the Kardashians, but it became very popular and they ended up moving to Nashville due to security concerns. Once the show took off, they bought 2 mansions that were totaled around $9 million for both. And the kids became influencers on social media with, millions of followers. And so it was a ratings hit. I know my Aunt Angie loved this show and always wanted to talk about it. And I honestly have never watched a single episode. I do remember some drama back in the news. But Todd was in real estate and they lived in Atlanta in a really nice gated community. Their neighbors included Usher and former Braves player Chipper Jones. Boy, that was a good era for the Braves. You had David Justice in the outfield, Chipper Jones, all those guys. But Todd once bragged that they spent $300,000 just on clothes in a year. Y'all, I don't care how much money I have. I'm not spending that much money on clothes. I literally wear like the same leggings, maybe 2 or 3 pair a week. Not even kidding. But before their reality show, they were already having financial problems. And back in 2012, Todd had filed for Chapter 7, where he claimed to have $49.4 million in debt and only $4.2 million in assets. He said in the filing that he had $55 in his checking account and $500 cash. His attorney said the reason for this is he guaranteed a development loan for $30 million and it failed. And Todd would have been fine financially had this not happened. So Todd and Julie were indicted in August of 2019, and a new indictment was handed down in February of last year. So they were sentenced in November for a multi-million-dollar bank fraud and tax evasion scheme. Our next partner is Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. I gave AG1 a try because I'm always busy and my diet isn't the best, but I still want to get all the vitamins my body needs without taking a ton of pills. I take AG1 in the morning before my first cup of coffee and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. Why take a bunch of different things when you can just mix 1 scoop of powder in water once a day? It's the healthiest thing you can do in under a minute. With 1 scoop, I'm getting 75 vitamins and minerals that help my mood, energy levels, and healthier hair, skin, and nails. It's delivered to me every month, and it's been the easiest way to arm my body with everything it needs to tackle my day. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/whattheworld. That's athleticgreens.com/whattheworld. Check it out. We know that as a busy parent, you don't have time to completely overhaul your life in the new year. One change that's easy to make that will make your life easier in 2023 is Little Spoon. Most of the baby and kid foods at the grocery store is heavily processed and often on the shelf longer than your little one has been in this world. Not cool, and not the quality nutrition our kids deserve. Little Spoon makes everything fresh, organic, and uses absolutely nothing artificial. It's just like homemade, all delivered to your door and ready in seconds. From baby food to big kid, Little Spoon has you covered for years. Little Spoon even hides vegetables and chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more. Their smoothies come in pouches that make on-the-go snack easy, healthy, and tasty. And yes, I tried one. They're great. Did I mention it comes right to your door? It's flexible, easy, and everything stores in the refrigerator or freezer. You can pick your menu for a variety of foods to introduce to your child. The price is right, the quality is unmatched. So make this year's chaos a little more manageable with time-saving, delicious, and healthy meals and snacks your kids will love. Go to littlespoon.com and enter my code WhatTheWorld at checkout to get 50% off your first Little Spoon order. That's littlespoon.com and enter WhatTheWorld for 50% off at checkout. They use their production company allegedly to hide income from the IRS. Of course, they say someone else had control of their finances. It seems like when people get busted for these tax evasion things, it's the accountant. Dude, get you an accountant you trust. Yeah. Stay on top of them too. I would get like an independent person to come in and like double check my account if I ever came into that kind of money. I don't know why you trust one person when you got that much in the bank. Anyways, they were found guilty of submitting bogus documents to banks when applying for loans. Julie was convicted of submitting false credit reports as well as bank statements when they were trying to get a California property to rent. In the sentencing filing, prosecutors said the Chrisleys have built an empire based on the lie that their wealth came from dedication and hard work. The jury's unanimous verdict sets the record straight. Todd and Julie Chrisley are career swindlers who have made a living by jumping from one fraud scheme to another, lying to banks, stiffing vendors, and evading taxes at every corner. Julie will serve 7 years. That's right. So she's 49 at a federal prison in Camp Mariana. Those who have served time at the facilities say, look, it's still confinement. It's still prison, but the camps are where you kind of want to be if you got to go in the federal prison system. They have a lot of recreation options available. The restrictions are way, way less. There's no barbed wire fences. And the atmosphere is a little bit more chill. It's kind of described as a college dormitory setup. And so Todd's prison usually houses around 324 inmates ranging in age from 22 to 80. He will have access to counseling programs, educational opportunities. Might want to take some economics there, buddy. And wellness instruction, team and individual sports, and lots of other fun things they can do for the next, 12 years? Bunch of years. How many years? Wait, I got to scroll back up. 12, yeah. So he's got plenty of time to explore all their opportunities. So the camps mainly house nonviolent offenders who are accused of more white-collar crimes, and violence is rare, if not absent. The residents tend to be people of a higher income status, like lawyers, doctors, accountants, those kind of Chrisleys, those kind of people. They can move around the campus kind of unrestricted. And in addition to emails, families can call and email to stay in touch. They are, however, appealing their convictions. Their attorney, Alex Little, said their trial was marred by serious and repeated errors, including the government lying to jurors about what taxes the couple paid. Based on these issues, we are optimistic about the road ahead. So the Chrisleys actually asked a judge to allow them to remain free on bond while they appeal their convictions, but that was denied. Hence the 12 o'clock deadline to turn yourself in today. Todd's 33-year-old daughter, man, I'm going to tell you, she was drug into this mess as well. And she has a podcast where she talked about the issues with her family, especially her father. And she had left the show in 2017 after appearing in 5 seasons when the tax evasion and fraud scandal hit. So her dad accused her of being the catalyst regarding the investigation into the tax fraud. And she saying that she spread negative stories in the media. And here's where things get really, really weird. Back in 2019, Lindsay claims her dad, Todd, and her half brother, Chase, tried to extort her over a sex tape unless she lied about a certain incident, which was believed to be her testimony in the tax case against her parents. She says her brother Chase purchased the tape. And then, about a month before Todd and Julie were indicted, Lindsay actually filed a police report in Georgia. Now, it was dismissed because the alleged harassment took place in Tennessee and she didn't refile. But she even went so far as to hire security guards out of fear her dad and her half brother may retaliate. Now, Todd denied the allegation that he and Chase were plotting anything against her, saying that she was lying. And Chase said he didn't purchase the tape, which was rumored to co star Robbie Hayes, who is someone who has been on the reality show The Bachelor. I don't even want to say it was rumored, he verified. In fact, he told TMZ about the allegation, although our hearts are broken, or I'm sorry, Todd told TMZ about the allegation. Although our hearts are broken, Lindsay is our daughter, and we will always love her. Now, Lindsay's half sister, Savannah, accused Lindsay of making it up for attention. And it's extremely sad, she said, that someone is using a sex tape that doesn't even exist in order to get 5 more minutes of fame. So Chase, the one that is alleged to be involved in this, is on the bottom. And I got Kyle's name wrong up top there. I think it's Kyle. See, I don't watch the show. But I got all into this today because I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. But the co-star in the tape says it does exist, but he claims it's not a traditional tape in the sense of they set everything up for that purpose. It was a puppy cam where they were sleeping on the couch of one of her friends who had a puppy cam to watch the puppy. And surprise, surprise, you're watching a puppy and what do you see? There was no consent, obviously by either one. Well, the feds got involved. And Robbie submitted evidence as well as an affidavit to the U.S. Attorney's Office, including alleged texts from Chase, which he said proves Chase and possibly Todd were trying to compel the two to cooperate. He also spoke with other agents. Lindsay was also in touch with the feds about this, and she shared a 2-year-old tweet from her dad with the hashtag, "Thank God for puppy cams." That's just messed up on like a lot of levels, and we'll just leave it at that. Oh, ugh. The owner of the puppy cam told the feds no tape exists. Chase's representative also said there's no tape, and Chase did not make any extortion threats to Lindsay or Robbie. So Todd and Lindsay were estranged for quite a while. Her dad posted a message of support on social media that kind of broke the ice when Lindsay announced she was getting a divorce. And eventually that helped them to reconnect, in spite of Todd and Lindsay both saying in the past they weren't interested in reconciliation. And he said at the time he posted that it wasn't really meant to be an olive branch, but he wished her well. But they did reconcile last year, and she said it was the divorce that brought them back together ultimately. So on their podcast, Chrisley Confessions, Todd said, "We cannot discuss the case because the appeal has now been filed. Don't think we're avoiding wanting to tell you something because we're not. It's that we've been told we cannot. Continue to pray for us if it's in your heart and your will to do so." He also said they put on a brave face for their fans with all the legal trouble. He said, "I'm glad our shows have brought you that happiness because that's what we get up to do every day, is to make someone else's life better. And I've wanted to say this for a long time, but I don't think the fans truly know that sometimes the happiness that we're bringing you is at some of our saddest times, because we don't feel like in that 22 minutes that you want to hear all about the bad things happening in our lives. When our show started, it was supposed to be a docuseries, full reality, and the world took our show and turned it into a comedy. It's been a heavy burden to carry for 10 years. We're dying on the inside, but we still have to put a smile on your face. So we're not asking for sympathy, but just understand that the work we have done has at times been to our own detriment and has been a detriment to our own mental health at times, and certainly with the kids." So they were out and about in the days before they went to prison today. Julie was seen stocking up on groceries, and they've been seen kind of having like a last supper of sorts with different friends. Once they're out of prison, Todd will have 16 months probation. Julie will have the same. Todd will be 65 when he is released, and Julie will be 56 ish or 57, depending on if she's 49 or 50. You know, the one thing I've noticed about a lot of these reality shows like this, you look at, what's the Duggar show? I forget, like 58 Kids and Counting. And then you've got, um, it doesn't seem like a lot of these end well for the families. There's always just, it seems like these things kind of, oh, that John and Kate people that had like the multiples, and that's been a hot mess. It just seems like if somebody approaches you and said, "Hey, we would love to have your family do a reality show," you should be like, "No, we're good. We're good." But that's all for today, guys. I am going to be working on a really big build up episode to kind of put forth everything we know so far about the double murder trial for Alec Murdaugh in the murders of Paul and Maggie. Just as that reference episode to start everything off, because starting Monday, I'm in Murdaugh mode until verdict. And I'll be following all of our other cases for sure. But we'll start doing these nightly recaps. Hopefully Monday, there's enough to talk about. Going to do some lives down there. Can't wait to meet up with Anjanette. She's coming in the next week, so we're going to get to hang out. And yeah, so I can't wait to meet a lot of people and make some connections. And it's been a while since I've been back in a courtroom to cover a case. It's probably been 8 years or so. So I got to get my feet wet, get my sea legs under me. I'm very, very nervous. So send me some good juju vibes and all that stuff. But I think, once I get settled in, it should be a lot of fun. And you hate to say a murder trial is fun, but I do enjoy what I do, but it's horrific nonetheless. And I think that it's weird in this case because you have this elephant in the room, which is Mallory Beach, her untimely death at the hands of Paul Murdaugh. And it is just devastating. Never should have happened. That beautiful girl should be here among us. But it seems to me like the murders of Paul and Maggie have been made a little less victim to me from what I've seen. And I don't feel that way. I feel like, he made a huge mistake that took a very young and promising life. But in the end, he was shot and he was killed, and his mother was too. So it's still a justice thing for me. And we will see what both sides put up, and it's going to be a good one, y'all. We don't know very much of what they have, the shirt, a few other little things, but this could be one of those trials where you start getting into it and the evidence blows your mind. And so we will see, but I'm going to be there every day. Follow Law and Crime on all the social media. I'll be sharing what I do with them on my social media. And then every night, same old thing, guys, just me sitting here doing what I do. And again, if you know of a really good broadband internet, please let me know, because I'm going to need something, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to do about getting my episodes like uploaded to YouTube. So shoot me a line. Let me know what you got. All right, alibuyers. Don't forget, check out the new store. Lizzie has put some awesome graphics out there for you guys. And I put her email address yesterday. I don't have it right in front of me, but check her out if you need any kind of graphic work with Adobe. She rocks. All right, y'all. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.